Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, September 6th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started with our analysis shortly. Just got a couple things here to update. And we should be good to go. That's good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. It looks like we are good to go. So I'll get a few more moments for people to make their way in. As people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. Put it right there. And I'm just going to go to like the closest areas for these higher time frames because I don't expect price to get that far today specifically. Goes a daily, 8 hour. Or 2 hour. Let's see what else we got here. One hour right here. Now we'll knock it down to the 30-minute. Look at that red. Down to the 15-minute. Go down to the 10. And it looks like we're good to go. All right, guys. So there's a liquidity for today. It's like there's some upper liquidity right here. It's low level liquidity though, so you probably want to go for only 100 pips if you're looking to take that specific entry there. So lower liquidity down here is about 500 pips away. It's at 34,571. And the upper level liquidity is over here about 300 pips away at 34,655. So we got liquidity that's like not too far. It's pretty decent from distance wise. I mean, we'll see what happens when the market opens right here. So, all right, guys, morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, September 6th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. So we'll see what happens shortly. Hi, Kenny. Morning. Morning, William. Morning, Karen. Morning, Casey. Morning, Maria. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Randy. Morning, Vince. Yeah, definitely. Karen Williams said very organized Discord. Discord is so organized. Yeah, no, definitely. So I gave out the link to the Discord, guys, for you guys here in the premium already. So we're slowly transitioning. So eventually everyone will be invited to the Discord. Right now it's just the premium. So this will help you guys see everything. Everything is a lot easier to see on here. Super straightforward, and everything is very organized. So if you guys are in the premium, the link was sent out yesterday. I'll send it out again every couple days, every day basically, so that you guys can get acquainted with everything there. But everything is pretty much organized here. It's a lot easier to see everything. And the links are pretty much, everything is all separated for the most part. So, all right, guys, morning, everybody. It looks like pretty much everyone is here. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, market's going to open in about 2 minutes. Hey, Dan, morning. And we're ready to kick off the trading day. So looking over here at the main chart, you're looking for a momentum signal. Let's take a look at the sentiment for right now. Sentiment's currently 56% short, so it's straight neutral. Looking over here at the technicals, or sorry, fundamentals, neutral as well. Looking over here at the technicals, I mean, it's pretty neutral, except for the longer time frame. So everything except the longer technicals are neutral. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment, neutral, 55% short. Fundamental bias, neutral, negative 50 points. Short-term technical, neutral. Long-term technical, bearish neutral. All right, so as you guys can see, there's not really so much to look at here. It's pretty much mixed. Retail sentiment's neutral. It's at 55% short. That indicates that 55% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So it's not really one-sided at all. Fundamentals are currently neutral as well. They're down 50 points. They need to be above or below 100 points in order for it to fit criteria. Short-term technical is neutral, long-term technical is bearish neutral. So there's not really too much of a bias today. I mean, we'll take it as it comes. ATR right now is currently at 10 right now, so it's pretty low volatility. And we'll see what happens in a few moments. So we need ATR to pick up to at least 15, as you guys know. 15 is our sweet spot. So we need ATR to pick up to about 15. It's currently at 11 right now. Market is dumping super heavy. Let's check the news from today. So there was news this morning at 4 o'clock. So 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5:30. Kind of random time to have a news, but let me go and mark that up. So we had news over here at 3 o'clock. News right there at 3 o'clock. News. Right. Okay. 3, 4, 5:30. Let me just go. I'm going to order so many random news events that happen pre-market. 3, 4, 5:30. 5:55. Another random news event. well, not necessarily random, just random time. And there's a lot of random news events that happen today. We usually don't have so many news events that happen, super randomly like this, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. And then we have another news event at 6:45 and 7. $6:45 and 7. All right, so that's pretty much it for news events. I'm gonna go and mark up opening price. Which is right there. All right, so we currently have a sell signal right here. I'm looking for 2 green candles to look to take a buy for the momentum counter scalp. The candle is right there. All right, so here's the open price right there. Price is still dumping pretty heavy. Let me check the news. I don't know if anything's really going on right now. It's causing price to dump like that. Okay, so it shows right here. It says S&P falls on Wednesday. Stocks continue their sluggish start to September. I mean, nothing really too crazy happening. It's the start of fall, basically. So, it's kind of what we were expecting. Some volatility to pick up here. So I'm basically looking for 2 green candles here. To take the momentum counter scalp. They don't have to be a specific size. It's got to be 2 green candles. So there's 1 green candle right there. See the next one. If that's the case, price may push up back to opening price. But we'll see. There's no telling what's going to happen next, of course. So I'm basically just looking for a second green candle here. If this is a second green candle, then possibly push it up for 100 pips. If you guys are not familiar with this is the strategy that I'm testing right now. It's called the momentum counter scalp. Basically, we're looking for momentum in one direction on open, and then we're looking for the possible reversal or correction on its way back up. So this candle would have to close green. If it closes green, I would take it for about 100 pips. It's not an official strategy, so you guys can take it at your own risk if you guys would like. But again, the only main strategy that we're applying here that's official would be the momentum pullback scalp. But I'll have to be live testing this new strategy in order for us to really understand how it works and be able to trust it as price continues to, obviously move through. So let's see where this went. I think I'm going to test this on just like maybe just 1 account probably, because it's too hectic doing it on like multiples. So the entry would have happened right here. And I'll just have to watch it to see where it goes, because the price movement here is kind of volatile at the moment. So let's see where this ends up going to. Still bouncing around. There's news at 6:45. Trying to see if there's anything here for me to like really pay attention to. Not necessarily. So this right here would be the momentum counter scalp, guys. This is not the momentum pullback scalp. The main strategy that we apply is a momentum pullback scalp. That happens after about like 6:45, 6:45, 7, around after that time when the volatility starts to pick up. Right now, the ATR is pretty decent. It's currently at 16 right now. So it's not horrible, but it's also not great with where it's currently sitting. And it looks like the movement here kind of flattened out a little bit. So we'll see where this ends up, going. Typically, this will usually push through like right away, like on the immediate, like on the following candle. This is a time-based strategy. So for this strategy right here, guys, typically we're watching it between 6:30 and 7. And then if it doesn't work out between 6:30 and 7, then we typically look for the next entry. So it's still running right here. I don't know if Gion's actually yours would have played out at the same time, Gian. So it would have lined up with the same entry right here. So it's still technically playing through right here. Let me check real quick. Calendar. Yeah, it's just sitting right there. Let me see where there's GBP news at that time. And there's news coming up right here at 6:45. So price pushes up. Okay, so this is what it actually, okay. So this is going to count as a loss right here, guys. Again, this is it's not an official strategy. We're just testing this right now. So this right here is probably the first loss that we had applying this. And I mean, I don't know how long it's been. But I'm going to be keeping this document. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be documenting these trades because we're going to keep a journal. So I'm going to be testing this for like the next couple months. If this strategy stays consistent, then we'll continue applying it. If it doesn't stay consistent, then obviously it's not going to be an official strategy. But this here is not an official entry. We're just testing it. The official entry is going to be the one coming next, which is going to be the momentum pullback scalp. So right here, I'm going to count this as a loss, of course. And then we're going to add this to our journal. And then from there, we'll keep following it through. I think the liquidity got hit though. So if you guys follow this here, the liquidity for the sell came through. So it just depends on like, if you guys take it right away. The next level is coming up right here too. For the liquidity on the higher time frame. So it's getting close to that point. Let me measure it. It might be overextended like Maddie mentioned. Yeah, it's a bit overextended. It's about 1,000 pips down. So yeah, depending on what strategy you guys took, I mean, some of them hit. So liquidity push over here hit, first level right there. You guys saw me mark this up pre-market. The next level here is getting close to it, but it is overextended. It's about 1,000 pips down. So like what Maddie said, probably wait until the second touch, because right now it's currently kind of bouncing around. So probably on that second touch, price will probably blast right through. So depending on what entry you guys took, liquidity push here hit, the momentum counter scalp here didn't work out. You guys can see that the strategy, sometimes they're counterintuitive, because sometimes some strategies are going a certain way, other strategies are going a different way. But this one right here didn't work out. This one right here did work out. Next level is going to be up here, and the next lower level is going to be down here. So if you guys want to take that, the next opportunity for entry is going to be down here. All right, so here you guys, price kind of bounces back and forth. The movement this morning wasn't very smooth. Typically this will push through right away, either one direction or the other. But for this one right here, it kind of laid flat for like a good, 4 minutes or so. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm just going to put an update over here for that specific strategy so that we can continue following it. So today's what's called momentum counter scalp entry was a loss. We'll continue testing this strategy for the next 3 to 5 months to use this as an efficient strategy. So I just want to remind you guys, I'm going to put that there so that you guys can see momentum counter scalp entry was a loss. So I'm going to be able, what I'm going to do every day is I'm going to take the entry. I'm going to mark it up here. And then when I mark it up like this, I'm going to be putting it in a spreadsheet. So if you guys are on the Zoom, I'm probably going to create another tab here, and it's going to have pretty much our journal, a journal of every trade that we take on the live session. and a journal of like pretty much every official trade that's counted towards, the results. So the only trades that count toward the results are going to be the official trades, not anything that we're testing. So it'd be the momentum pullback scalp and then liquidity push if I'm taking it. Typically, I'm not going to take liquidity push unless like there's a bias. So today there wasn't a bias, so I probably wouldn't have taken this liquidity push right here. I typically only take trades, official trades when I'm like absolutely sure the trade's going to play through. So now that we have that taken, I'm going to go ahead and mark the levels here, and we'll look to take a momentum pullback scalp entry. So I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to mark up the levels. Let's go from the 80 mark. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. 30, 40. All right, so looking at current price right here, the volatility is still not very high. I mean, it looks like the candles are moving pretty fast, but realistically, they're not really moving that much because you guys can see the ATR is currently at 16. Typically, we want it to be 15 or above. We have news coming up right here at 6:45, so I'd probably hold off on any entries right now. If you guys are looking to take anything, it's high impact news, S&P Global Services PMI. I would just wait for it to pass. Once it passes, maybe look for some entries there. It wouldn't really matter for us because there's no entries for us here to take anyways. We're looking for this to give us a sell signal first. So the reason why we're looking for a sell signal right here is because we have a downwards trend. So you can see over here, we have a downwards trend because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. So we're looking for a sell signal here to confirm the continuation to the downside, or we're looking for the trend to shift. So, I mean, price can go in either direction, but for the most part, we're looking for, man, I hate when I get these tools stuck. Sorry, guys. Oh, because I have this thing open. Sorry. I don't know why it keeps automatically. That was done. All right. So we got news coming up right here. Once the news passes, we'll be looking for a possible direction. So we got news right here in about a minute. I would probably hold off on taking anything right now. Gotcha. Okay, thanks, Casey, for the heads up right there. Casey said that there's a pending signal on the 10-minute at the time of the entry over here for the buy. Let's see what I got over here. All right, so looking at this right here, I mean, we might get a shift in trend, which is completely fine. It doesn't really matter to us. We can trade in either direction. Let me clean this up a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple of things here to look at. We have price that's now above the pivots. You can see the trend meter down below is now blue. So if this continues to climb up higher, that's completely fine. We can start looking for buys. But in order for us to do that, we need this red pivot right here to be below all the other pivots. So once the pivots start angling up, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and this red pivot is below all the other pivots. That's going to confirm that we're in a bullish trend. Once we confirm we're in a bullish trend, we can start looking for a buy. Right now, we're still in a neutral trend, so we can't really take buys here. If anything, we could take sells if price decides to come back down because the red pivot right here is above all the other pivots. So main thing to look at here, and I'll just show you guys on a clean chart over here so that you guys can see. The main thing for us to look out for here is going to be where price is with regard to the pivots. So as you guys can see, this chart over here is kind of messy because there's so much stuff on the chart, but here's a clean chart with only the pivots on the chart. So this red pivot over here, which is level 4, if it's above all the pivots, it's still bearish. If this is below all the pivots, then it's going to be bullish. You can see price is starting to now swing back down. That's fine because if price swings back down, we can still look for sells on the downside, right? So right now we're still in the bearish trend. The trend has not shifted yet. It's more of a neutral trend, but just looking at the pivots here, it's still bearish. So if price decides to come right back down, then that's completely fine because we'll just take some sells. But until then, we're going to be waiting for some sort of confirmation here before we can start looking for any actual entries. So let's see, other than that, I think that's good for right now. Let's go back and just wait for some sort of confirmation here. So basically main thing I'm looking for right here is I'm looking for a sell. I'm looking for a sell signal at the moment. Once we have a confirmation of a trend shift, then we can start looking for otherwise. But right now, it is still a downwards trend. All right, we have a pending sell signal right here. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Once we get the sell signal here, if it closes, then we can look for a possible retracement. So we want to see a sell signal here at close. We want price to push down slightly, retrace up, and continue lower from that point. If we get something like that, then great, we'll look for a short position right there. And we'll go ahead and ride that down. But we need the sell signal first. So this is the official entry. There's only one official entry that we're pretty much applying throughout the day, which is the momentum pullback scalp. The liquidity over here is not official. It only becomes an official entry if I take it myself, because then I analyze it and I'm pretty convinced that it's going to work out, right? That's the only time it really counts as an official entry. It's not an official strategy because it's too risky. It's not something that I like to teach beginners. If you guys have been with me for a while, we've been applying the strategy for years, but it's, as you guys know, it's not a beginner friendly strategy. So, I try to keep things as simple as possible, and I try to keep things as efficient as possible. So I'm looking for efficient strategies to make official. However, if I do see other entries, I will let you guys know if I do see anything there. There's no bias right now. So if there was a bias, we could be looking for like some V1 variations and stuff, but there's just not any bias right now. So you can't really take any V1s or any official V1s at that. Not to say that there isn't V1s coming up, but there are, obviously, like there was a V1 right here or V2 that came up, a low with the lower low with the strong green candle. So that could have been a V1 right there if you wanted to take that. However, it wouldn't have been an official one because it's just a V1 pattern, not necessarily a V1 variation because of the bias right here. So we'll see how the bias shifts as price continues to move along for this month. It's currently at 56% short, so it's not really anything special. It's actually pretty neutral right now. Hey, Nick, how's it going? Morning. Let's see. All right, so we're looking for that sell signal. That's the main thing we're looking for. We have news over here at 7 o'clock. So, either price stays flat right now up until news, like the news happens over here, so price will just go sideways for a bit, or we get that sell signal and it starts to drop. But we do have news right here at 7 o'clock. So I think price may stay flat for the next couple minutes up until news, because let's see the news event real quick. The news event is high impact. It's ISM services PMI. So we got IBD, TIPP, economic optimism, which is medium impact, the inflation rate, ISM services, business activity. The main one is just ISM services PMI. So just basically a lot of inflation news today. Today's a heavy news day. So, that might have been something to maybe look out for when we were taking the entry earlier this morning. Like, let's see. So I'm going to look at what time the entry came up. No, there's enough gap in between. because the news is over here at like 6:45. So there was enough gap between this movement in here. We just got caught in the fake out. So unfortunately for that first entry right here, guys, you guys can see that we just got caught in the fake out. Price kind of pushed up right there, came back down, and then it shot all the way back up. So it's all good. Measure this real quick, see how far it pulled back. Yeah, I would have cut it anyways. Wouldn't have been something that I would have wanted to hold on to. All right, so price is starting to shift back up. So let me go back over here real quick and I'll show you the pivots. So see how the pivots are starting to shift. If price continues to push up higher, the pivots are starting to follow price, right? So if the pivots following price, if this red pivot crosses below and all these pivots cross above, then we can switch to a bullish trend. It's still bearish right now, technically, but I mean, if it shifts up, then that's completely fine. It doesn't matter to us. We just want to confirm that there's a confirmation of trend with regard to the pivots and with regard to the trend meter down below. If you guys want to learn the strategy, there's an official strategy video for this. Just go on the course, either go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. If you guys go over to the course, it's going to be module 4. So if you scroll down, this is what the course looks like. Go down to module 4. It's going to be right here, the momentum pullback scalp strategy. This is basically the official strategy that we're applying right now and what we've been applying for the past couple of months. It's probably going to be a staple because it's one of those strategies that just kind of plays around all throughout the day and all throughout the year. Also, if you guys are on the Discord, so here's the Discord. There's not everybody in here just yet, but if you guys are part of the Discord, just go down to strategies right here. And it's going to be the lowest one. So if you go to strategies right here and you scroll down, it's going to be the last one, momentum pullback scalp strategy right there. You guys can learn the specific strategy that we're looking at, which is the main strategy that that we're applying. So you guys will see everything here is pretty much organized. And then if you guys have profits, you guys can send your profits right here under team profits to share for the day. We had a couple right here. So Andrew over here took liquidity and the high-low momentum scalp, total profit of 1,036 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. So solid profits right there from Andrew. And then from now, I'm just going to go and drag these over for now until like we have a set. Until everyone starts posting their profits here. So we're probably going to be in this transition phase for like maybe a couple months until everyone switches over to Discord. But for now, I'll just copy everything over. If you guys want to send it on Discord, you can send it on Discord. If you want to send it on Telegram, doesn't really matter where you guys send it. So we got news coming up in about 6 minutes. I'm fine if price just kind of goes sideways for now because I don't want price to really push through anyways. I want price to just stay sideways right here. And then once news passes, then we can get some sort of direction to the upside or some sort of direction to the downside. Doesn't really matter which direction because the trend will shift with it. So I actually want price to stay flat right now. Because if we get a sell signal, it's gonna coincide with the news price right here, and we're not gonna be able to take the trade, right? So I want price to go sideways right now, if possible. If not, then we'll have to take our chances and see what we can pull out of that. But for the most part, I would prefer that price goes sideways. So there goes the range right now. There's not really too much to look at. Prices, it's in a very extremely wide range right now. All right, we got a pending sell signal right here. ATR is currently at 17. It's not very strong. Price is pretty far from like all of the other liquidity areas. Next area right here is going to be down below. This is probably going to be the one that you want to look for. There's a higher level of liquidity. It's in blue. So guys, if you guys are not familiar with liquidity here, red is going to be weaker, blue is going to be stronger. So just something to keep an eye out for. 6:56 right now. News is happening in about 4 minutes. I don't recommend anybody hop into any trades right now because when the news happens right here, it's high impact. Price will probably spike in like, either direction. Today is a very weird news day. I've never seen news come up so often like this in the beginning. Pre-market, there's maybe like 1 or 2 news events like at like 5:30. 3 o'clock is a random time to have news. 4 o'clock is random time to have news. 5:30 is normal. 5:55 is normal for Redbook. 6:45 here is kind of normal, but everything below here at like 4 o'clock, I typically like nobody's awake at that time, right? It's 4 o'clock Pacific time, and it's like I guess 7 o'clock Eastern. So I guess maybe it makes sense, but realistically, there's not usually news that comes out, that early. Let's see. Kip said could get an invalid sell signal, which will make it impossible to know which direction, but makes sense this close to news. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kip, 100%. It's really close to news right here. So price is a bit indecisive, which is expected. We have a lower low right here. So I'm expecting there's a couple of things that whenever I see a lower low, this can be established as the bottom. Right. So if that's the case, price may just climb above even higher. Like if it establishes. So we'll need to pass like about a couple candles until it establishes. We also need to confirm the news here. So once the news passes, then we'll really determine. So if you guys look over here, look at this lower low. See how this establishes the bottom and price continues to climb up higher. It doesn't always establish the bottom, but a lot of times it does. And that's why I draw support resistance at those points. So see right here, this lower low, and see right here, this higher high. It doesn't always happen. So you can see over here, this one doesn't establish, but you can see when you get to that proper higher high, like the one that's way up here, it starts to crumble down from that point and go straight down. So, I mean, this might push up from where it's currently at. Again, I don't really care where price goes. I'm not in the business of predicting, direction. I just want to ride the wave. So the way that I trade here and the way a lot of other people trade is very different. What a lot of people like to do is they like to predict price, right? So they like to like maybe catch an entry right here and say, okay, price is going to push like way up here, right? I don't like to do that. For me, I just ride the wave. So for example, if liquidity is sitting down below here and I see price shifting to the downside, I don't care what's happening. Like, I don't want to get in like way up here. I don't care about getting perfect price. I just care about riding that wave. So when price comes down, I'll catch the wave down here. I'll catch the wave down here, catch the wave down here, but I'm not necessarily looking to catch the very top or the very bottom. I feel like people getting that when people trade that way. Yeah, it feels good when you win. Well, when you're losing like 100 times out of the, out of the times that you trade, like whenever you see people take those types of trades, their win streak is very low, but that one win can bring them back to break even. For me personally, I like having a high win rate. I like winning all the time. And, I like just basically scooping up profits where I can. So there's no one way to trade, but for my style of trading, I don't like catching the tops and the bottoms. I like identifying the tops and the bottoms, but not necessarily saying, oh, this is the bottom and price is going to climb, right? I'd rather tell you like, oh, this might be the bottom and price might climb, and I'm not going to enter from down here, but I'm going to enter like up here when price actually confirms it, and then I catch that for a quick little scalp. So it's just a different style of trading, guys. Everyone trades kind of differently. A lot of people don't like trading the way I do because a lot of people don't understand it. You guys have to understand, if people understood the way that we traded, everybody would trade that way. So here goes the news candle right here. Huge news candle, as you guys can see. This is why you want to avoid news, because stuff like this happens. So hopefully nobody was in any position, or if you were in a position, hopefully you were in a sell, because this would have blasted straight down. Again, this is another reminder why we don't trade news, because you don't really know where price is going to go, right? We had that lower low that was right here. Look how it blasted right through. The lower low is now down below here. And it may be pushing to, it already hit liquidity. I don't know if anybody caught it. It literally blasted right through the liquidity. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken it because it's a news candle and it blasted right through, but it came down and touched liquidity. I would look for the second touch. If price comes back down and touches it a second time, then that would be the opportunity for you to make your entry at that point. But obviously, this is a news candle. I wouldn't have messed with it. I mean, price looks like it may tumble back down. I would be careful if you guys are looking to chase this, because I wouldn't even mess with it personally. I'm not going to mess with liquidity down here. I'll watch it. I'll follow it and see if it, pushes through, but I'm not going to mess with it because this wick right here is so huge. And this candle was so huge compared to the others as well. Yeah, I'll follow up for you guys. But again, I'm not going to take this trade. It's too risky. You guys know how I trade. I'm very conservative. I only take trades that I know for sure are going to hit, or that I have a really good idea that it's going to hit. This right here is a super messy move because of the news candle. News candle is pretty much the biggest factor here. Hey Anderson, how's it going? So there's no official entries that came up today. There was entries that came up that people took. So there's a liquidity push right here that came up. We took the other strategy that we're testing, but no official entries yet for the day. We're looking for a momentum pullback scalp, but there's just nothing, I mean, to really mess with right now. Or the news candle just came by, so we're going to look for this to either confirm the direction, or we're going to look for it to retrace back. But it looks like it may be coming down for a second touch right there. Again, I'm not going to take this trade because this whole movement is based off the news candle, and it's a touchy area to be trading. You never want to chase news, because if you're chasing news, you never know when it's going to turn around on you. So again, we're going to follow it, but I'm not going to take it, of course. I might wait for that next touch later. So if this starts to consolidate and retrace from this area right here, then maybe on that next area or next touch, then I'll look for the possible entry. But right now, it's just a little too messy for me to even think about taking. Like, I wouldn't even think about taking the entries right here. You want to wait for this candle to fill. So look at this big candle right here that happened. This is the news candle right here, right? This big red candle. Go to this chart. So this big red candle right here is a news candle. But the problem with taking a trade right here is that price is going to do one of two things. So let me go over here to the clean chart, and I'll just rewind to that specific news candle. So whenever you get a big candle like this and it's based off news, price is going to do one of two things. Price is either going to continue coming down from here. That's one scenario. Second scenario is price will come up to the halfway mark and then come back down. Or price is going to come up to the full candle and reverse, right? There's too many scenarios here that can play out. So that's why I personally don't like trading. See, and you can see right here, there goes that candle. Look, it's at the second scenario. So price is pushed up right here. The second scenario is price either comes up halfway, then it comes right back down. Or in the last case, price comes up the full candle and then continues climbing up higher and reverses. So yeah, be careful with any type of entry that you're looking to take right there. I mean, technically the entry would have been right here for the momentum pullback scalp. I don't know if it hit. It probably already hit when this candle came up right here. Let's see. So there was a sell signal right here. Price came down. This candle right here retraced up. Entry would be at this next level right here at the 60. So price would have pushed up. And it looks like it would have hit like barely and then would have swung back up. So I wouldn't have taken that trade. I'd probably just wait for the next one, of course. It's too messy of an entry right here, but this is the entry that we were looking for. I was hoping that we wouldn't get a sell signal until after news, but this right here was just too messy. It was based off the news candle right here. So obviously I wouldn't want to take this retracement because this could have been a full-on reversal with this little markup that I drew right here for you guys. So, you got to play your cards, guys. Like whenever you guys are looking for entries, I know sometimes you guys might get a setup, but the problem is you need to make sure that you understand the risks that are involved with the trade that you're taking. If you're taking a trade that happens right after news, you're kind of just flipping a coin. It's like a 50-50 chance that you're either going to hit or you're either not going to hit. Right here, it looks like the trade hit. And the only reason I know that is because you guys can see this little dot right here, right? So if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that there's a little dot right there from this candle because this candle came up, filled the order, and went straight to CP. But you can see that it barely touched it. So if your spread was too wide, it probably wouldn't have closed it out and you would still be holding on to the position right here. But again, like I mentioned, because this was based off news, I would have just skipped it and I would have waited for the next one, which is going to happen. It's going to come up eventually. I mean, especially right now with the volatility starting to pick up a little bit, I think there's going to be another opportunity here as price continues to, move along. But yeah, looking over here, so you guys see the scenario right there? I think this is going to reverse. So this right here didn't play out, of course. This right here didn't play out, of course. And now the last scenario that we have here is a reversal. So this will probably continue climbing a little bit. And this was the news candle right here. So price pretty much swung up and then now it's starting to reverse to the upside. But yeah, so there's still no official entries for us today. Unfortunately, I mean, there's a couple entries that came up, but there's no official entries. This was based off news, so we didn't take it. And we'll continue to look for another possible entry here. So again, we're looking for, so I'm looking for another sell signal. We have a buy signal here, but the trend's still bearish. So what I need here is I need a sell signal, and I need to continue climbing this down. If this is the case, then fine, great, we'll look for a sell. If the trend decides to shift up, then we'll look for a buy. And it's just a messy market right here. You guys can see from the clean chart. So this is the actual clean chart. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up structure over here. Actually, I don't even need a markup structure. You guys can see where the messiness happened. Price actually came down, spiked off this lower structure right here. So market open right here, came down super heavy, retraced up. I mean, if anything, I could draw a structure up here. It's not super strong, but yeah, you can see how price is kind of just ranging on that area. All right, so let's see if we get a shift. If we get a shift in trend here, then we'll start looking for a buy. If not, then, again, we're just gonna have to wait for a little bit here. Kip said high level momentum scalp there against trend, but if reversal. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lower low right here. And this green candle over here was the high level momentum scalp. So again, if you guys are on the course, that's going to be the second main strategy, the high level momentum scalp strategy. So I don't know if anybody caught it, but it played, basically all of them hit right here. So there's the first one right here, the lower low, candle broken close past the pivots 1 and 2. That'd be a high level momentum scalp right there. And then again, right here, there's a lower low right here, buy signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2, and another full TP right there. So it looks like Casey, Maria, and Kip identified that. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's still completely fine. Right now, as I mentioned, it's not necessarily the best time to trade because the market is moving a little bit risky. So let's see over here real quick. We got some profits over here. So Andrew locked in 1,036. We got Maddie over here. Maddie locked in a total of 440 across all of his accounts. So 440 times 6. It's a lot of accounts Maddie's got there. 440 times 6. Maddie locked in 2,640 for the day. And then we have Gian over here, total profit of 1,060 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Gian. We have Narith over here, his first account, total profit of 2,965. And then we have Narith's second account, total profit of 5,775 here. Nice work, Narith. So we got that there. We got Vincent over here. He has one loss from earlier. It's fine. Small loss right there. Vincent, you'll bounce back from it. We have Andreas over here, total profit of 460. He took the loss 2 at the beginning, and then he took these other trades here, and they all hit. So nice work right there, Andreas. Andreas locked in the total profit of 460 for the day. Yeah, so it just depends on where you guys want to send your profits, whether it be Zoom or whether it be Discord. I'll copy them over. All right, so we don't have a confirmation of trend yet. I mean, the trend meter down below is green, but the pivots over here have not shifted yet. So I'm looking for this red pivot over here to cross over. Once it crosses over, we'll start looking for a possible buy. Here's the other chart. So I'll leave this chart clean over here so that you guys can see the pivots. I mean, that's basically all we're looking for right here. So we're looking for the red pivot to cross below all the other pivots. It's almost there. It's not there yet, but if price continues to climb up higher, then we may have a possible opportunity for, some buys here. It's 7-11 right now, so we still have some time. Yeah, Maddie said if it shifts to bullish trend, we'll also look for liquidity above too. So there's still liquidity up top. Right there. Price may push up to the next level of liquidity, which is going to be up here. So it's not exactly done yet. It's got a ways to go. Market's kind of flat right here. Median price push up a little bit. But you guys can see the pivots are starting to shift. So you can see over here, this red pivot is starting to cross below all the other pivots. Maybe the next couple of candles, maybe the next 3 or 4 candles, we'll have a confirmation of a now bullish trend. Not yet, almost there. So again, we need this red pivot to be below all the other pivots. Price is really just going sideways right now. Let's see. So they go to structure. I mean, you guys can see that price is in just a huge range right here. It's a huge, huge range right here. I was looking for a possible head and shoulders pattern, but it's not really there yet. All right, the trend here still hasn't shifted. Again, we're looking for this red pivot to cross below all the other pivots. That's going to confirm a bullish trend for the pivots. The trend meter down below is green, but it hasn't met criteria yet with regard to the pivots. We need trend to be bullish on both sides. The trend meter down below changes pretty often, so this is probably going to be lower priority. The pivots are going to be a lot more useful with identifying the true trend. And this is fine if we get a sell signal here, because if we get a sell signal, we can get a buy signal, and the next one price can continue climbing higher. But realistically, price is just going sideways. The only thing here that you want to be kind of careful for is that it kind of established a resistance right here. So if it established a resistance, I mean, price may come down and then it may fake out and then come down and fake out down here and just climb up. Like you guys have seen this messy pattern before where it establishes a resistance and then price kind of just goes haywire from that point. So we got price going sideways right here. Still have that pending signal. The pivots still have not confirmed. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just staying calm, guys. I'm like staying calm and staying disciplined, right? I know a lot of people, if you're waiting for this pivot to cross over here, you're probably getting super excited and you want to take a trade, right? Don't let that trade psychology take control of you. Like right now, just stay calm, take a breath and just wait for the trade to come to you. So even if we get the pivots here that start to shift, we still need price to push back up, right? So we need price to push back up, retrace, and continue. So it doesn't really matter if we get the shift of the trend here. That doesn't mean it's an automatic entry. We need price to actually push up still, retrace, and continue that direction. We can start looking for an entry maybe at that point there. But right now, you just got to chill out and wait. It's really just a game of patience right here because price continues to go sideways. You don't want to hop in too early. You hop in too early, you might get in at the wrong time. See, there's some breaking news right now from CNBC. It says Trump suffers big loss in defamation case. Judge says he's liable. All right, some breaking news right there from CNBC. It's not really too big for us, but breaking news for the world, I guess. All right, there's still no shift in the trend yet. So looking over here, the red pivot is still not below all the other pivots and price is still going sideways right here, which is not what we're looking for. We want price to climb. So price is going sideways right here. We need price to actually go up. If price goes up, then these pivots right here are going to shift. But if price doesn't go up, it's not going to shift. It's just going to keep going sideways. ATR is currently at 18 right now. It's kind of slowing down a little bit. It was currently at 20 a couple candles ago. Before I market. Man, after seeing all the crazy movements here, like in the beginning, I thought price was going to continue to push that way, but looks like the market has kind of just flattened out right here. Volatility's died down. The pivot shifted slightly. They're not really confirmed yet, but they're starting to shift slightly. Sell signal right there. All right, there we go with the bullish push. Let's see if it actually pushes through. All right, price is climbing. There we go. I think the trend's going to shift after this candle. So if this candle stays above, trend may shift a little bit. Okay, so it's now bullish. Now we need price to push up a little bit higher. It pushed up, but it's not high enough from where it's currently at. So I need price to push up a little bit higher. Maybe one more green candle. We get that retracement solid, and I'll look for the climb to the upside right here at the 10 mark. I don't like where it's at right here. I'm not going to enter anywhere below this point because I need price to actually push in a direction. It's not pushing in a direction, it's still going sideways. So I will not enter right here at the 600 mark. Closest or the lowest entry I'll enter from will be right here at the 10 mark. But again, I need price to continue pushing. I need price to push a little bit higher at least. Okay, I mean, that works for me. If I get a red candle right here, then that's going to be my retracement. My entry will be right here at the 10 mark. So I'm basically just watching this to see how this candle here ends up coming out. So going back to the criteria, guys, we have a bullish momentum right here. We have a bullish trend with regard to the pivots and the trend meter. My lowest point of entry will be right here at the 10 mark. So if this closes below the black line, there's not going to be an entry for me. But if it closes above, then I'm going to be trying to make my entry right here at this black line, which is going to be at 34,610. So again, I'm looking for entry right here. If this here closes below the black line, which it looks like it might, there's not going to be an entry there for me. We got 10 seconds left on this candle right here. Got about 5 seconds, and it's not looking like we're going to get an entry here. And no entry. All right, so this market sucks. Let's wait for the same pattern again. So I'm looking for price to push up again, retrace, and continue up. This candle closed below, no entry. I'm not going to take entry at this lower level. It's too low because we need some direction here. If we get a sell signal, it's completely fine. I'll look for the next buy signal. Either we get a sell signal and then we get another buy signal, or we get a push to the upside. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said next buy signal may be better. Yeah, I think it probably would because it's just going to reset the direction. Right now, the direction is just going sideways. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. All right, so price pushed again. We might have another opportunity right here. Still at that same level of 10. So we got, let's see, we got 30 seconds on this candle right here. This candle needs to close above the black line. If it closes below it again, then no opportunity for entry there. So again, here it goes as it comes back down. Let's see if it closes below it or above it. About 20 seconds. We still have time on it, so it's not. Okay, it does not look like 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, no entry there. Okay, again, looking for the same exact thing. All right, so no entry there, guys, unfortunately. Now we're getting a sell signal. Again, it's fine. You know, like we were talking about with Maddie, we're looking for a possible buy signal. So I want a sell signal to come up, then a buy signal. Or again, if we have price push up, like the same thing. As you guys can see, there's no direction here. So hopefully nobody's getting any ideas because there's really nothing going on here. Price is just going sideways. This is the type of market you want to trade in, because if you take a trade like this, you'll probably be trapped in this position. And you'll be trapped in it for a while. So, because the volatility is also low. If this was happening, the volatility was high, like say, for example, the price was bouncing back and forth between like 3 levels, right? Then great, because you can enter at like the low point and get your buy-in and go straight to your TP, or price will get to your high point and it'll go straight to your TP. But right now, there's not really much of that happening. Price kind of just goes back and forth and you'll just be trapped in this position. Like, so for example, if you entered a trade like way over here, you'd be in that position for like 20 minutes now. And I'd be stressed out because if you're in a 20-minute scalp, it's no longer a scalp, it's now an intraday trade, and you're kind of screwed because that position should have hit like within a couple seconds, right? So just be patient, guys. I mean, this whole week has been kind of off. You guys, it's a holiday week. So yesterday, I forgot yesterday was Trap Tuesday. There was a lot of red flags yesterday in the trading market. We still made profit, but yesterday was Trap Tuesday, and the day before that was a holiday. Yeah, Daniel said another high-low momentum scalp just hit. So there's a higher high right here. Sell signal right there came through. Looks like it came through and it went straight to TP. Not sure if anybody took it, but it went straight to TP right there. That strategy's been hitting. A lot of you guys have been taking it and it's been hitting like almost every time. So another one right there, higher high. Sell signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. Entry would have happened right there. And then it would have went straight to TP. So this used to be one of our main strategies that we used to apply. I don't know why I haven't brought it back yet. Main thing is because I don't want any confusion with their other strategies. But yeah, this one hit 3 times today. So there was one over here, lower low, buy signal, full TP, lower low, buy signal, full TP, higher high, sell signal, full TP. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, again, it's just a matter of patience, right? That was a nice entry though, Daniel. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but that was a pretty solid entry because it finally broke out of the range, right? Price was ranging. It finally established a higher high, broke through, shot right to TP. I think that's one way to look at it too. So if you guys look at those high-low momentum scalps and you look for range, because price was kind of ranging right here too. Price range right here for a bit, lower low, breakout. Higher, lower low right here. Price was ranging here for a bit, breakout. Same with this one, range for about 20 minutes. Higher high, sell signal, breakout. So that might be a confluence that you guys want to look at if you guys are applying that strategy. Okay, so the trend might be shifting back down. If the trend starts to shift back down, then we're going to be waiting for another opportunity here. See, we got some more profits over here from Maria. So Maria over here sent in her profits, locked in a total profit of 584 for the day. Nice work, Maria. So I'll put that over here. Maria's profits. We've got Andreas over here. Some more profits from Andreas. Total profit of 2,270 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. So great work right there. And then we got Rashida over here. Total profit. She took one small loss over here on her top step. She's down 900. No big deal. Small loss. And then her MC4 over here, she has all wins. Total profit of 1,765 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. Yeah, so great work right there, Rashida. Great work to all you guys, actually. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of entries to take here, different types of strategies to apply. For my main strategy here, there hasn't been an entry, so there's no official entry for today yet. However, there's a bunch of entries that came up, high-level momentum scalps, liquidity pushes. I mean, even the daily entry, I don't know if anybody's still applying the daily. Not the daily, but the 1 hour. Yeah, I remember this is one of the main strategies that a lot of people like to apply. We got at 7 o'clock. There was an entry right here. Straight to full TP. And then shit, something. Sorry guys, fire alarm went off. For whatever reason, I turned right back off. Anyways, back to the charts over here, guys. So we now have a bearish direction. I don't know if this right here filled. There was actually a sell entry that came up here, but let me see if the trend shifted already. I don't know if I would necessarily take that right there because I didn't really confirm yet. So we have a possibility of a sell coming now, guys. So the sell would happen, actually would happen right here. Might be a little too late for entry. The entry would happen right here at the 60 mark. I think it'll probably hit CP already. So there's a sell entry right here, guys. Mine didn't fill, but it looks like it already hit TP. Yeah, it already hit TP. I had to cancel mine. So unfortunately, guys, sorry, I missed the entry right there. I had to cancel it. I got it on my FT4. I wasn't able to get in on my top step. I pull out of that in profit. So I recouped some of my losses from earlier on my MT4 account. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into the entry. It happened too quickly. It didn't come and fill my order. So I don't know if anybody caught this, but this came up super quick. So this is a setup that we were looking for. We had a sell signal right here. You can see the trend started to shift. So I tried to get in. I was only able to get in on my MT4, but not on my top step. I tried to put my pending order there, but it never filled. So you can see right here, price came down. The trend started to shift right here, right? So you can see how the red pivot shifted across from it. And then we had a retracement right here. So the entry would have happened right here. Price retraced, bearish trend with regard to the pivots, bearish trend with regard to the trend meter, sell signal right there. Price came down. This was a direction. Price retraced right here, retraced right here. Entry would have happened right here. And then it would have filled it and went straight to TP. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in. Yeah, I wasn't able to get in because of the, it just happened so quickly. So I don't know if anybody caught that, but that'd be the basically the setup that we were looking for. I got in on my MT4. It only gave me partial profit though. So it gave me 1,140. And today's market is kind of weird. All right, so we'll look for another opportunity here. So unfortunately, if you guys, I don't know if anybody else caught it. I got some of it, but I don't know if anybody else caught the entry right here. But again, basically, if you guys are not familiar with the strategy, this is the official entry that we're basically applying throughout the day. There's only one official strategy that we apply pretty much every day, which would be this one. We waited for it up here, it never came. It came over here, but it happened super quickly. Price came down. I'll put the criteria over here for that strategy. And again, if you guys want to watch the video explains it pretty much in detail. If you guys want to see how that's applied. So yeah, momentum pullback scalp, identify direction of momentum, sell signal right here, identify trend is matching with the pivots. Pivots are angling down, price is below the pivots. Identify the trend using the trend meter. Trend meter down here is red, so it's also bearish. Confirm directional push. This is a directional push right here. Confirm retracement. Retracement was right there. Pullback, entry, full TP. But again, we'll look for the next one. I was only able to catch part of it, so unfortunately. Let's see if we get anything else over here. So I'm not going to count that trade because that trade just happened too quickly. I'm pretty sure not everyone is able to catch that. But I just wanted to show you guys that setup there that we were looking for so that you guys know what to look for next. But that was a pretty solid entry. Came up, filled, went straight to TP within the first couple seconds. But it never filled on my top step. So what we're looking for here now is we're looking for a buy signal. We need a green buy signal to come up. So I want this here to actually close, and then I want another sell signal, and I want to write that down, right back down lower. Looking over here at liquidity, price attempted to get near liquidity, but it didn't actually get to liquidity just yet. Let's see. All right, so we got the buy signal over here that's currently pending. Hasn't closed yet. So as you guys join into the Discord, I'll add you guys. I need to figure out how to get people automatically into like a certain role. So I'm still trying to figure out how to work Zoom here or Discord, but it's I mean, I'm working on it. It'll get better along the time. All right, so let's look for entry. 7:33 right now. Hoping to hoping to get another entry here. At least maybe one more entry. The volatility is kind of flat right now. You can see the ATR is down back to 17. It's actually really flat right now. But you guys can see this is typically why I don't like trading news weeks, or not news weeks, holiday weeks. When we have a holiday week like this, the market's kind of screwed up because the days are all kind of pushed back. So I'm going to try to be a little more conservative this week, but I mean, if I see an entry, I'll try to take it. I'm still going to test the other strategy too, though. So I'm going to, maybe today or tomorrow, I'll start working on the spreadsheet or I'll continue working on the spreadsheet for the momentum counter scalp. And then we'll put the data together to see how that ends up playing through. But again, we are just waiting for retracement here. So in order for us to get a retracement, we need to get a buy signal here to confirm that price is retracing to the upside. And then once we get that sell signal back down, that's where we'll look for our sell. But yeah, right now we just don't have that. Price is still climbing down though, so you can see it climbing down the ladder over here. It's getting close to liquidity down below. So it's currently at a quadruple bottom right now. It's tested it quite a bit. I think price will actually break through the next touch. Yeah, I think if price comes back down, it's going to blast right through. If and when it comes back down. But you guys can see here that price is in just it's in a big range. So guys, if there's any questions, we're getting close to the end of the session, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I can answer whatever you guys need help with. And there's not really much to look at here, unfortunately. The volatility is starting to die down a bit. It's now to 17. As you guys know, if the volatility goes down below 14 or it goes down below 15 on the ATR, then there's just no entries for us to take. As you guys can see, price is just starting to consolidate down here, which is not a good sign. Because we need some movement here. In order for us to take these entries, we need price to actually move. But you can see here that price is starting to consolidate between these two zones. It's definitely not a good area to be trading in. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some movement here. If not, then we're not going to force anything. It's Wednesday today. Let me check the news for tomorrow. I think we have some news tomorrow as well. All right, so we got some news at 5:30, jobless claims. And then we have news at 7 o'clock, Fed Harkins speaking. We got gas news at 7:30, and then we have gas news at 8 o'clock. So we got a lot of news this week. I don't know if this is considered Fed week, but we have Fed speaking pretty much every day. We have Fed Collins speaking today. And then we have Fed Logan speaking today as well. Tomorrow we have Fed Harker speaking. I think yesterday we had Fed speaking. Tomorrow we have tomorrow's Fed day actually. So tomorrow we have Fed Harker speaking at 7 o'clock. And then later in the afternoon, we have Fed Williams, Fed Bostic, Fed Bowman, and Fed Barr speaking. All the Fed members basically, aside from J Powell. So I guess this is considered Fed week. Fed week, and it's a holiday week. It's probably why the market's kind of it's kind of jumpy. Seems like a lot of people try to get trades in before the Fed starts speaking, or when the Fed starts speaking. So the Fed is speaking today at 5:30. You guys can see market was kind of it was kind of calm between like 5:30 until market open. And then as soon as market open, a lot of people were making moves off Fed. We spoke today. A lot of people were making moves off. I swear there was a Fed member that was speaking today. I could be wrong. Fed Collins. So Fed Collins right here was speaking at 5:30. And when the market opened at 6:30, a lot of people made moves off what he talked about. I don't know what he talked about because I didn't watch it, but you guys can see that the Fed has very heavy effect on the market. Yeah, it's first week of football, guys. Anybody's watching the NFL. I don't know if you guys have noticed. So like right here, it said, are you ready to stream some football games? A lot of the local channels aren't even available in the area anymore. It's kind of crazy how TV has changed over the years. I think ABC is not available on like Spectrum TV, which is crazy because it's a local channel, especially if you're here in LA. I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to get like NFL Pass or something like that, but it's crazy how, Disney owns Spectrum now, I think. So they're obviously getting greedy with it. Yeah, and I don't know if any of those companies are also located in the Dow. Let me check real quick. I mean, these are all they're all kind of relevant. So I'm pretty sure that Goldman has an arm where they have like pretty much a stake in like pretty much all of these finance companies, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Salesforce, Verizon. Actually, it's going to affect it. Like, it might not seem like a big deal to people that like football is not on like specific TV channels. It's going to be a big deal because a lot of these companies here have a stake in it, or they have a stake in a different company, like say, like NBC Peacock. They're like their own streaming service. A lot of these companies have a stake in it. So even though it won't seem like a big deal, actually Walt Disney is going to be one of a big deal because they have a stake in Spectrum. So Walt Disney and Verizon are they don't seem like competitors, but they are, because Verizon has a TV service and Walt Disney owns part of a TV service. So, I mean, whenever you guys look at the Dow, there'll be news that comes out sometimes, and it might not seem like it's like going to affect the Dow, but it will, because the companies within the Dow have a stake in like what's happening in the world. So just keep that in mind. That's why I don't really care about news too much, because news is super unpredictable. You might get good news from one company and then bad news from one company, and then it's going to either stabilize the price or it's going to push price one direction or the other. Looking at price right now, it's pretty much flat. I mean, Disney's not as big of a company to really hold, control over the Dow. Like if you guys look at the Dow, just look at whatever has the highest market share. So if you look over here, anything happens for United Health Group, that'll probably affect the market. Walgreens, Verizon, etc. Not going to affect it too much. Like these companies right here are not going to affect it too much. But then you get to the bigger names like United Health Group, Home Depot, Microsoft, etc., and it's going to affect the market. But as you guys can see, there's not really too much going on here. The volatility is now down to 15. We have a pending buy signal right here, but as you guys can see, price has just been going sideways for like the past 10, 20 minutes now. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't know if we're going to get anything else from now until 8 o'clock. So if you guys want to wrap it up, you guys are free to wrap it up. I'll hang out for a bit if there's any questions. But yeah, just looking at where price is currently at right here, I don't think there's any reason for anybody to take anything. There's no official entries that came up today. There was one entry that came up right here that I even took myself, but I don't think that many people took it, so I'm not going to count that trade. I want to be transparent with you guys. I don't want to just hop into a trade and then and then take profit on it and then call it a win, right? I'm going to make sure that people have profited on it. And if anybody else took that trade and I took it, then I'll count it as a trade. But if it's just me and nobody else is taking it, then I'm not going to count it. So I just want to be transparent, guys. I'm not here to pad any profits. I'd rather give you guys like the raw results of like what we take here in the live session versus kind of pad trades. Because you know, if you guys have been part of other groups, a lot of people like to pad their trades. They'll take a trade and they'll count it as a win, and then they'll just keep adding on wins so that like it'll pad it to the end of the year. But for us, we don't really need to pad it because we've been doing so good. If you guys have seen our results for the year so far, like there's really no need for me to pad any trades. Like I could take no trades for the rest of the year and we'll be pretty solid. So like for this year so far, as you guys can see over here, we're currently with 121 wins and only 20 losses. So that's pretty impressive. In my opinion, I think that's pretty impressive. You guys can have your own opinion, but I think that's pretty good. We have 121 wins. These are all documented trades from the live session and only 20 losses. We have a total profit of 15,000 pips. And basically, it's a pretty crazy game. Like I didn't realize we made this much of a game until the end of the year. But if I was to calculate the win rate, so the win rate right here, we took a total of 121 wins divided by 141 trades, total win rate of about 86%. So 85.8% win rate for the year so far. And these are all documented trades on the live sessions, like only live trades. So I mean, I'm pretty solid with like where we're at this year. I mean, we're actually a lot better than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting this year to be too like, well, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be this great because we were going into a recession. So I was a little bit nervous about like the trades that we were going to take and how consistent we were going to be. But, you know, as long as you stay consistent and you don't take dumb trades really, you should be able to balance out. Yeah, exactly. Ben Harwick said he was waiting for the sound. Yeah, I was too, Ben Harwick. I was waiting for the sound and then I ended up entering manually on my MT4. That's kind of the downside of not having any sound on the MT4. I wish there was noise on the MT4. If you guys remembered in the past, like when I would enter trades on my MT4, it would make a sound. It'd make like a clicking sound and you guys would know when I'm in a position. Unfortunately, it doesn't. That's what I like about the top step because it says, you know, order filled when I'm in the position. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Ben Harvey. It's a lot easier that way too. You know, that way you guys know when to take entry. But yeah, for today, guys, there's no official entry. There's one entry that came up. I took it and I made profit on it, but I'm not going to count it. Let's see, we have Sam over here. Sam locked in a total profit of 815 for the day. Nice work, Sam. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over here as well. We got Andrew over here as well. Andrew said done for the day, total profit of 1,433. Nice work, Andrew. Great profits right there. You have Sam over here as well. That's profits. We got Patricia over here. Patricia said this market is crazy. I agree, Patricia, 100%. Patricia locked in a total profit of 547 on her first account, 322 on her second account, 672 on her third account, and a total profit of 1,903 on her fourth account. All wins for the most part. So nice work right there, Patricia. Or actually, you probably didn't have all wins. You probably had a mix. I wouldn't be surprised because I had a mix too. So great work right there, Patricia. All of her profits. Got Randy over here. So Randy said that he took the counter scalp on the challenge. So unfortunately, he ate a loss right there, but then he took the other trades over here on his other account where he had all wins, no counter scalp right there, total profit of 710. So nice work right there, Randy. Yeah, I gotta be careful with that strategy. If you guys are not comfortable with it, just, you know, held off on it, but you did a smart move there, Randy, by taking it on a separate account. That's what I've been doing too. Yeah, if you guys want to take trades on like different accounts, or if you guys want to take the riskier like testing trades that we're doing, basically the momentum counter scalp, I would probably seclude that account to just that strategy on that trade or on that account, or take it with a smaller lot size because it's not an official strategy, so it's still in testing phase. Daniel just said the lower liquidity just got hit. Yeah, so if anybody took the lower level liquidity, it just got hit, like I mentioned. So if you guys remember earlier, I was talking about it. I said it's on its like fourth touch. And I mentioned it's probably going to blast through on the next one, which is exactly what happened here. So basically a quadruple bottom. If it tested that many times, so there's 3 touches right there, triple, the quadruple happened right here and price came down, and then it kind of was messy. Yeah, Daniel said that it was stressful. As you can see over here, price did come down and touch it, and then it came up a little bit, and then it came right back down. So it blasted right through. There's still no opportunity for entry here because we do need a buy signal, which we don't have yet. So we didn't get a buy signal to confirm the continuation, unfortunately. So yeah, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm still updating the Discord over here. So the Discord right now is open to only the premium members. Once I get everything set up here, I'll open this up to the public, but for right now, it's just open to the premium members. Hopefully you guys like it. Go ahead and play around with the settings over here. There's so many things here to look at. I think everything here is just going to be so much more organized as we continue to add on to this. So, all right, guys, let me see if there's anything else here. If there's anything else that I need to cover. So guys, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the let's see, Anderson said there are pirate steams, easy to use the VPN. Sorry, Anderson, I'm not sure what you're referring to. But yeah, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the strategies, just go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. If you guys go over to the website, once you guys have access to the course, this is what it'll look like. If you guys want to learn the strategy that we were just covering today, so basically the main official strategy would be the momentum pullback scalp. Just go down to module 4, and this is where you will get that. And if you go down to the high level momentum scalp that other people are using, it'd be right here, 4.4-1. Other than that, I think that might be about it. If you guys don't have access to the YouTube, so I go live about 7 times a week, guys. If you guys want to watch any of the live streams, just make sure that you go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. Turn on notifications here and subscribe. There'll be a button right here on the right side. And whenever I go live, YouTube will send you an email. I go live about 5 to 7 times a week. So basically 5 live streams, live trading sessions, and then maybe 1 or 2 mentoring sessions, depending on the week. But yeah, other than that, oh gosh, yes. So Anderson said, yeah, pirate streams. So I because you put Steam, so I thought you were talking about something else. But yeah, no, definitely. Anderson was talking about the NFL games. Yeah, for me, I just pay for like NFL Pass. It's like $100, so it's not really that much. And I might try my hand at sports betting, so I might just start paying for sports. Start a different side business for that. All right, guys. So if there's any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up. Yeah, Maddie said parlays. GLT, don't do it. Gambling sports. Yeah, no, I probably won't do it. I might mess with it and put a little bit of money, but I'm not going to get into it that much. It's just another reason to write off sports and stuff. So here's a cool, like, the thing with business, guys, is that, like, if you guys have a business purpose for a lot of things, like say, for example, if I started doing sports betting or something like that, then I can like pay for sports. I could go to like any sports games and then I can write that stuff off. So it's just another way to blow money, but also get a tax deduction from it. There's just ways around it, guys. Like once you have like a certain amount of money, you kind of want to put this somewhere. There's like, you can kind of make a business out of a lot of things. It's like with a lot of people who have like exotic cars, you can own an exotic car dealership, and people will buy all these exotic cars and then write them off. There's just a lot of ways, like, once you think of outside the box of like normal businesses, you can find a way to write off pretty much anything, as long as it has a business purpose. So just keep that in mind. It's got to have a business purpose. You can't just be going to like the Lakers game for no reason, for no business purpose, and then try to write off the tickets. So Um, all right, guys, I think that's it for right now. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to, hit me up. You guys can message me on Telegram. There's not really much for us to look at here. If you guys want to continue trading, I probably would hold off. Just wait until tomorrow because the volatility here is very low. You can see the ATR is currently at 13 now. It's not really worth the risk, guys. If you guys take a trade here, you're probably gonna be stuck holding it for a while. So it's not necessarily going to be worth the risk. So, all right, guys, I think that's about it. 7:52 right now. It's about 8 minutes till 8. I don't expect volatility to pick up from now until then. So if you guys don't need a trade, I'd probably sit out of the market. Today, unfortunately, there was no official trades. There was a couple entries that came up. A lot of you guys did make profit off it. But other than that, there's nothing that's going to be counted for today because I didn't take anything here that I would consider official. There was one momentum pullback scalp that I made profit on, but I'm not going to count it because my top step didn't fill the order. So, all right, guys, other than that, we'll wrap this up. One more profit here from Nathan. Nathan said he's going to keep trying to trade after the live session. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to do it, do it. But all right, guys, if there's any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys